Alright then, hello everyone and welcome to round 11 of the NEF1 Season 7 Championship. And for the first time in quite a while actually, we are back at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for the second sprint in a row following last week's, I'm gonna say thrilling battle at Spain. Usually not two words that go hand in hand together, but it was a really good race indeed. We saw Undercheck come out on top for the fourth Grand Prix in a row, and he has a chance to tie the NEF1 record set by Matty MC16 back in Season 2 here this evening. Will he be able to do so? He has snatched the last two Grand Prix wins away on the last lap. On both occasions, it's gone down to the very last lap, as said. But then, both the Williams setting out on track relatively early. It's Spenclose and Squidge, followed by Padrang and Matty as well. I believe Matty might have actually been out first. We're going to put the track map and everything up so we can actually monitor everything. Short qualifying session then, 18 minutes to decide who starts on the prestigious pole position spot. Short run down to turn 1, but pole position could perhaps be a disadvantage here due to the run down the Camel Straight right at the very start of the lap. Following the Air Rouge complex, not necessarily an advantage being in P1. Heading through that corner, we'll wait and see, but overtaking is not going to be difficult tonight. As Squidge 2017 has served his qualifying ban acquired last week as well, so he'll be starting from last in the grid for the sprint race, worth pointing that out. Padrang 900 currently going through Sector 2, just heading into Sector 3. Sector 3, which is basically just one long flat straight, or isn't straight I guess you should say, down to the bus stop chicane, and then a short run down to the start finish line in turn 1. Matty's just coming up on that run now. Let's see what he's going to be able to do around the track that he has a 100% win record at, worth pointing out. So then down the run up into Rouge and Radion. Rouge, this little left-hand kink, and then up the hill. This is Radion. And a car which looks very slippery in a straight line. Let's see just how slippery it is. Very fast indeed. Over 340 kilometers an hour as we're heading into the left-right chicane. Right-left chicane, sorry. And this is actually one of the tracks that I have the least amount of knowledge on the entire F1 calendar on. So forgive me, I'm not going to know basically any corner name. I'm not going to know how to tackle this track at all because I absolutely despise this circuit. I'm not going to make a... I'm not going to lie about that. I absolutely despise this place in all of its glory, really. Don't have much nice things to say about it. But Matty is tackling it well at the moment. Not really looking comfortable here in his first lap, though. We'll see what that turns into in terms of lap time. Obviously flat through the last corner, or the first corner in Sector 3. And now just a couple of bends really up until you come up to the bus stop chicane. Quite a lot of different lines you could take into this corner. Matty opting for a relatively casual approach, and down to the start finish line, 142.588 for Matty MC. Now then, Spenclose should be coming across the line rather soon. He's going to be able to improve on that. 42.802, not good enough from Spenclose. That the dethrone Matty MC from that P1 slot for the time being. Beatty's just started his flying lap. And Wiggins going to wrap his up quite soon. Padrang is not. He has invalidated his first run. Wiggins 71 and former teammate of Matty MC16. What's he going to be able to do in the Red Bull? At a track where he's had some success in the past, and it's going to be a 43.222. And how about the championship leader? Never seen him around this place before, I don't think. Let's see what he's going to be able to pull out. It's going to be a 142 flat. Goes up to B1 by about half a second's advantage over Matty. That is Danny just across the line for a 42.750. Djokovic heading into the bus stops. And oh, that is close between the two main championship contenders. Nasi 31 and Djokovic again separated by less than half a tenth of a second. And this is turning into a nice little rivalry with Djokovic and Nasi. It's been incredibly close between the two all season long, and that trend it continues going. It continues going on. BT's going slowly. Darren is on invalidated lap. He's going to have to go again. Padarang is going slowly, I believe. Might not be. Please forgive me. Electing to stay out here to finish up this lap. It's not going to be a brilliant one. It's going to be a 43 flat. Quicker than Wigan, but just by about a tenth and a half. A little bit slower than Spenclose, who will have to come out again if he wants a decent result out of the session. Ondracek is now on the Camel Straight in his out lap. Worth pointing out that as well. Iwat's currently going through Puon, and that's a Ferrari that's spun around. Is that the championship runner-up at the moment? Yes, it is. We've seen a couple of those mistakes starting to creep in for Djokovic this season. He had a nightmare over in Australia earlier this season, so let's see if he can just regain some form. He had a really good race in Spain, incredibly close to taking the win there, only caught out on the last lap as Iwat has taken out a, I believe there was a brake marker or an advertising board. Doesn't really matter. And now through the bus stop chicane, and what is he going to be able to produce in the Alpine? It's going to be 43.402 P9, slowest of the runners so far. We saw a big gap in qualifying last week out between the top three and the rest. At the moment, the same gap is emerging. Nasi and Djokovic half a second ahead of Matty, Jamar and Danny. Yeah, the top three in the championship at the moment. Sorry, the top... the P1 and P2 cars of Nasi and Djokovic, along with the P4 car of Ondracek. In a league of their own, really, at the moment when it comes to pace. No one really being able to challenge apart from podiums every now and again. Before wins, those three have been absolutely dominant. ABT has gone to win this season as well in Monaco. So let's see if he can regain a little bit of form. He's had a rough couple of races now. Ondracek is currently on his first flying lap of the session. And down the run, down the Camel Straight, running a Senna-inspired helmet, if I'm not mistaken, in that Mercedes. And it's looking clean so far from Ondracek, the man who has jumped up to fourth in the standings from basically nowhere in about 4 or 5 races time. That'd be 4 races time. 4 weeks time. He's jumped up into fourth in the standings. Incredible run from Ondracek, who has actually placed himself in title contention if he keeps this up. He has had to work for every single one of those victories, though. It's not come to him for free. Nasi, Djokovic and Matty are all out on outlaps once again, so I'll go on board with them in just a little bit. So here we go then, down with Ondracek, down to run into the bus stop chicane. What is he going to be able to produce in that... in the Mercedes? We're going to report that Beta was blocked on his run previously. Ondracek then across the line, goes fastest out of anyone by about 0.2 of a second, goes quicker than Nasi 31. That is worrying signs for the rest of the field. Ondracek on pace as he usually is. And that truly is worrying signs for the rest of the field. Matty MC has started another flying lap, already gone past the Gemmell Straight, but he's lost a little bit of ground, 2 tenths on his previous best. As BT now, a man who desperately needs to regain a bit of form and regain a bit of form in qualifying, which has been his issue this season. Not really been able to get going in qualifying sessions over the course of this season. So, see if he can keep that momentum up today. Oh, sorry, regain some momentum in qualifying today. It's been up and down from BT so far, but still heading towards his best season in NEF1 yet. I'm sure he will get there. As for BT, it's 142.465, and that's good enough for P4. It's a very solid performance indeed. A couple of taps behind his teammate still, but doing everything that he needs to. So here we go, Nasi 31, then he is poised to go faster than Undercheck. He needs to go faster than Undercheck on this run. Regain a little bit of momentum. It's 141.7 to beat. And he gets ever so close. A couple of thousandths of a second quicker, and he would have had him, but that is incredibly close. Undercheck and Nasi separated by a couple of thousandths of a second. It's so close between them every single week, but Undercheck just has that slight edge. Nasi at the moment not finding an answer. Djokovic is heading into the pits for one final run. I would imagine most people are doing the same at this point. We got 5 minutes to go. Danny DC needs to improve on that 42.750. And won't do it this lap. He comes into the pits. Just a 10th for Danny would see him improve up to P6, which would be a good qualifying performance from him as well. That's a bit of a weird session this so far, with the gaps in the field. Sam Obama's on an outlap. JV8 still in the pits. I don't know if we've seen JV8 so far this session. Padarang at the moment going into the bus stop chicane. Needs to improve. 143.052 is the time that he has set for himself. 1.2 seconds off the pace. And fails to improve by just a couple of thousandths of a second. Needs to go again, but he's running out of time here, Padarang. He might have to just do a cooldown lap now and go once again if he's fueled for 2 or 3 laps. If he's not, then he could be in a little bit of trouble. J-Mars is usually relatively comfortable around this circuit, and he is showing that. Been away for a couple of weeks now. 142.727 is his best time. Could probably improve by just a little bit. We'll wait and see what he's able to do on this run, or if he does come into the pit lane to go one last time. It's gonna finish up this one, which means it's gonna be hard for him to get around again. He's not gonna be able to even. J-Mar does improve, 142.491, not quite up to a BT, but ahead of Matty MC16, who now does need to improve. Matty on the verge of dropping out of the top 3 in the championship. Spenclose is having a mediocre session per his standards. 142.802 is the best he's set so far. Just 1 second off the pace. JV8 is now out on track as well in his Haas. He's going around the first corner in sector 3. So now just a bit of tire warm-up before the lap that he absolutely needs to nail. The entire grid is out on track at the moment. No one is in the pit lane. Maybe a couple of people being wheeled into their pit boxes for the time being. But everyone knows this is when it's go time. The question is, well, number one, how am I going to cover this? The second question is, who is going to come out on top? Ondrejek has the advantage for the time being. Nasi's right on his chaff. Djokovic and ABT in P3 and P4. Djokovic very much involved in that battle. We are going to report that Padarang messed his run plan up. That is probably him out of contention. Then he's into the pit lane. We won't be seeing Padarang again this qualifying session. Where was I? Djokovic very much involved in that battle for the top 3. BT needs to improve by a lot if he wants to make that ground up. 1 minute to go. Here we go, Van Ondrejek has started his last flying lap of this session. How is he going to be able to perform? Is he going to be able to improve? Is he going to hold on to P1? He's got a car beautifully ahead of him, perhaps, for a run down into or from the Kemmel Straight, and that is a perfect slipstream for Ondrejek, and that is going to gain him a lot. Is that his teammate, perhaps? Yes, it is. Ruled to perfection. Spenclose is out of this session, crashed out in poo on yellow flags in Sector 2. But I'm sure Ondrejek won't mind that bit of help from his teammate at all. Padarang is out of this session, retired in the pits, won't be seeing him again until the sprint race that is to come. This is center grid for the sprint, mind you. BT has come off the track, coming out of Radion actually, at the very top of the hill. Now, is that going to interrupt one of the pole runners or one of the guys going for pole? We don't know. Checkered flag has dropped for this session. First across the line is going to be a Red Bull. Is it going to be Wigan or is it going to be Darren? Is it going to be Darren Style? What is he going to be able to do in that Red Bull? Currently sitting last of the guys that has set a time. Squidge and JV8 hasn't. Darren Style 143.4 to beat. Is he going to be able to beat that? I believe he is, but by how much? Just a tenth. Goes ahead of Iwatts. Now, Jamar is about to cross the line, will not be able to get a time in. Ondrejek is about to cross the line. Is he going to be able to improve? Yes, he is. 41.503. Nasi, he is improving, but is it going to be by enough? Djokovic, what is he doing? He's improving. Is it going to be by enough? Needs to find a bit more. Nasi at the moment is the best shot at stopping Ondrejek. What is he going to be able to improve? Needs to do at least 3 tenths of a second. And he just misses out by half a tenth. Djokovic now. He has some ground to make up. Will he be able to do so? Matti has improved up to a 42.253. That is good enough for P4. Only Djokovic left to go. What's he going to be able to do? Coming out of the last corner. Running down to the line. Is it going to be pole? No, it's only going to be good enough for P3. And Ondrejek, once again, fastest in qualifying, takes pole position away from Nasi and Djokovic. Matti takes a good P4 hybrid with a brilliant effort to make it up in P5 ahead of a BT who crashed out late in the session. Jamar also in that little battle, very, very close between those three, separated by less than half tenth of a second, 300ths of a second to be exact. Hybrid ABT and Jamar. Wigan in P8, followed by Danny in P9. Spenclose by his standards, disappointing session for him. Same for Danny, I'm sure. Sam Obama in P11, followed by No Larks in P12. Padarang in P13, followed by Darren Style in P14. Iwatts P15, not able to get a lap in there at the end for some reason. Not quite sure why. JV8 wasn't able to get a lap in all session, and Squid served a qualifying ban. He'll be starting from the back of the grid. As there we can see it's incredibly tight margins at the front. Ondrzejczyk and Nasi finding each other once again, not for the first time this season, it won't be the last. Half a tenth of a second was a gap from P1 down to P2, Djokovic in P3. 3/10 of a second behind though, needs to improve a little bit if he wants to stick with these two guys for the Grand Prix. Hybrid in P5, and this is showing just how good Ondrzejczyk and Nasi truly are this season. Hybrid P5, a full second behind. However, the field spread, not massive, about 1.7 seconds, 1.9 seconds, sorry. So not a massive field spread, but Ondrzejczyk well and truly in sublime form at the moment, and well and truly on his way to taking his 5th in a row. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time for the sprint race here. It's going to be 8 laps worth of hard racing to decide who starts in P1 for the Grand Prix and who gets the 8 points for the sprint race win. We'll be right back with you here when NEF1 returns. All right then, and welcome back to the Belgian Grand Prix here in NEF1. The sprint race is just about to get underway in a couple of seconds' time. The ready-up pass being given by the admin team will be going in less than 30 seconds' time for 8 laps worth of racing here around Spa. It's going to be an interesting one. 8 laps worth of racing, as previously mentioned. No mandatory pit stops whatsoever, just flat racing to the line. Whomever's at the front when those 8 laps are finished is going to be the proud recipient of a nice little trophy for winning the Belgian Grand Prix sprint and 8 points to the championship tally. Ondrzejczyk is going to be starting on pole position, followed by Nasi and Djokovic in P3, followed by Matt in P4, Hybrid in P5. That's an interesting top 5 at 5 different teams represented. A B team P6. So Matti has left. So there we go, both the drivers leaving previously has been re-invited. Hopefully they'll be able to claim control of their cars as quickly as possible, as we are preparing to get the Belgian Grand Prix sprint underway. 8 laps, as said, no mandatory pit stops. Everyone, I would assume, is starting on the medium tires. Everything else would be silly. Actually, Spenclose has gone really aggressive on a set of soft tires, carrying those 8 laps around this place is gonna be one hell of a challenge. Actually, Patarang's gone aggressive on the softs as well, maybe thinking safety car or something like that. Squidge 2017 starting from the back, up thing is nothing to lose, also soft tires. As here we go, when everyone is lining up on the back of the grid. Squidge lining up the rear van for Williams. Ondercheck once again in P1, a situation that is quite used to. Brilliant camera angle this, as 5 red lights are on and they go out, and Ondercheck gets not away. That is Samo Bamo's AI just absolutely jump at the start, which is a bit weird, but just ignore him. Ondercheck is in P1 coming into the fast corner. Nasi is battling away with Djokovic, who is on his inside going down a route. Someone's going to have to yield between these two. Who's going to be? Nasi in P1 then. Now is going to get an almighty run down the inside of Ondercheck. The slipstream is so powerful up this rate. Djokovic is there as well, so is a BT. What's going to happen down into the next corner? And Matti and Danny's both left the session. What is going on? What on earth is going on? Ondercheck still the leader of the Grand Prix, and that is massive contact. A BT once again with contact, somehow involved with his teammate, if I'm not mistaken. What on earth is going on? For ABT, it's not the first time this has happened these last 2 races. Matti and Danny, both DNF'd. I have no clue how that happened. Did suffer from connectivity issues at the start of the sprint. I have no clue what went on for those two. As for Squidge, not had a good start to the sprint race at all on those soft tires, going slowly through Puon, and now a couple of seconds behind Hybrid 472K and J-Mar. Ondercheck has a 1 second advantage over Nasi and Djokovic. Now Samo Bamo, the AI of Samo Bamo's in P4, shouldn't be there. Spenclose, feel free to go right through him, don't worry about it. Oh, was that just a tank slapper? Did he get hit from behind by Patarang? I have no clue. Ondercheck, fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. Say BT then is into the pits for a new set of tires and a new front wing, I'm sure. Padarang is going to be able to get a run on Spenclose. You can see how he's just closing. This is without DRS, mind you. Maybe around the outside into the next corner, or tries to, opportunistic, but not quite enough room there for him to get that move done. Almost a really almost one of the moves of the season if he was able to pull that off. Nolog is now well and truly on his back. As for the battle at the front, not really anything going on out there for the time being. And that's out of character for this season. Usually there's a right little battle for P1 going on at this stage, but everything quite calm at the front at the moment. But no Larks challenging Padarang all the way down into the bus stop chicane. Maybe a little move down the inside. He's quite far back though. Not going to be able to make that work on this occasion. Everyone feel free to run through the friendly ghost of Samo Bamo as well. He's not in lobby, feel free to go straight through. As now DRS has been enabled, Padarang now is going to absolutely fly past Spenclose with this bit of DRS. We'll wait and see. It's looking rapid. No Larks right there as well. Spenclose, nothing he can do about that. The closing speed from Padarang is immense, who takes P4 away from the Williams driver. Padarang is a driver who is finding his form right now in NEF1. A couple of good races in a row now. P4 in this sprint race. JV8 on the not really the fringes of the points. Keep in mind only points for the top 8 in a sprint, not the top 10. Unfortunate for JV8, because if this result stands, he is inside that top 10. He's doing a good job indeed, challenging Iwat still. Iwat who is pushing Wigan relatively hard at the moment. 0.6 of a second is the gap. This is one of those tracks where you don't really get too close through the corners, but when the Kemmel Straight opens up, it all happens relatively quickly. Here we go, and into the bus stop. There's no need to even try to pull a move into the bus stop chicane, because you'd rather just wait for the Kemmel Straight and probably a done deal, which I'm sure Padarang is going to be aware of at this stage. Now the question is, how hard do you defend if you're Padarang 900? I would imagine not too hard. Nasi, 1.3 seconds is the gap from him to Undercheck, and it's fluctuating between 1.2 and 1.3. Here we go then. Spenclose, he is so close as we just get to the top of the hill. Little bit of battery enabled, and Padarang, yeah, there's not even going to be a point in trying to defend this one. Padarang down 2 positions in one go. Nothing he can do about it. No Locks though, it's on sublime straight line speed. Is he going to be able to keep it on track? Yes, but does understeer a little bit. And oh, this is hard racing for No Locks and Spenclose. No Locks might be able to go down the inside of Spenclose, and he can, but is he going to be able to make that work? Yes, he is. A sublime move from No Locks. That looked like he was going to go a little bit too wide, but No Locks in P4. One of the moves of the season, surely. That was absolutely brilliant from the Maltese driver. Absolutely brilliant. Yet another driver who's had a little bit of a struggle this season then. Darren Style, currently running in a P7 just behind Padarang. A little bit of a train this at the moment behind No Lugs due to all the battling going on. See how this all unfolds. Yellow flags in Sector 2, that is Hybrid having a struggle at the moment. BT also having a struggle down in P15 at the moment, after suffering earlier contact with his teammate. I do believe it was his teammate. Forgive me if it wasn't, but I really do believe he made contact with Nassi. And here we go then. Now No Larks might be the one who's up for grabs by everyone else. Let's wait and see. Down the run, down to Rouge and Radion. Up the hill. But No Larks does have a little bit of breathing room. Might actually be able to defend this one. Wait and see. A little bit of red stuck on the inside. No, that's just a side pod of No Larks' car. But No Larks not going to be overtaken on this attempt. Actually able to successfully defend that. I'd love to know how much battery No Larks used up on that run. BT, fastest lap of the race so far. Won't count for anything, but it's a nice little prestige to have. Honor check, 1.5 seconds behind now and increasing every now and again. Squidge 2017, 3-second time penalty, multiple track limits infractions. First one we've seen today, second one we've seen today. JV8 has one from previously. As for the battle at the front, not really one going on. Nassi not really able to catch the back of Undercheck. Djokovic not able to hang with the top two. No Larks not able to hang with Djokovic. As JV8 has had an issue coming out of Sector 2, and oh, that has triggered a full car safety car. Indeed it has. Full car safety car here on lap 5 out of 8, and that is a disappointment surely for Undercheck. But Nassi's gonna be loving this situation here. Now DRS likely won't be re-enabled, and why couldn't they just wait? Why couldn't the safety car just pick them up straight away? Because now they're gonna have to do a full extra lap basically. Hybrid drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, unnecessary to get. But Nassi's now going to have the slipstream and opportunity to pass Undercheck here. Now, who is going into the pit lane? Couple of people indeed. Nay, BT, if you're him at this stage, is the focus as Hybrid has retired from this race and in the pit lane, I believe, which would trigger a hefty penalty. And indeed it is. So that is probably a slam dunk penalty bat for Hybrid 472K. Actually, speaking about it, where is his teammate? He's in the middle of a train. So, stuff going on here. Hybrid, Matty and Danny all having retired from this race. Matty and Danny for unknown reasons. I'm sure I'll find out after the race. Undercheck in the lead now, but that is a lead that is well and truly in danger. Nassi is going to have a brilliant run on him on the safety car restart and maybe on the final lap. I would assume we're going to have 2 laps worth of racing action to end this one. I'm not positive. We'll wait and see. Djokovic could follow through as well. Anything could really happen here. It's actually been a really good sprint so far. I was incredibly critical of going racing around Spa earlier. I might have to just recant that statement, because right now it's proven to be a really good race. So then everyone is starting to line up. Still quite a bit of distance between the rear gunners of JV8 and BT up to the safety car. About half a lap, basically. But then we're on lap 7 out of 8. We're going to have 1 lap worth of racing action to decide who wins this sprint. Undercheck right now. He's in a nightmarish position. really is. Depending on how close Nasi can stick to him on this restart, might not be too much that Undercheck can do, depending on how slippy his car is in a straight line. This is going to be an interesting one. Nasi, everything to gain, Undercheck, everything to lose. Keep in mind, there's only a 1 point swing. Nasi has to think about the championship as well. So does Undercheck, so does Djokovic. No Larks is in a situation right now where he is relatively high up the order. It's on the left-hand side of the table, which is the right side of the table to be on. But doesn't really have anything to lose. Could No Larks perhaps surprise with a brilliant restart and maybe take a position or two away from Djokovic, Nasi or Ondercheck? We'll wait and see. No Larks may be really in the best situation here. Points are on offer, not a lot of them. Safety car is coming in this lap. Now Wondercheck needs to really back this train up and create as much of an opportunity for himself as possible to break away from Nasi on this restart and get this done. 1 lap worth of racing action to go. Who is going to claim it? Is it going to be Undercheck or is it going to be Nasi? Is it going to be Djokovic? Undercheck has snatched the win away from Nasi 2 times this season on the last lap of a race. Now, is it Nasi's time to do the same to Undercheck? I'm sure he'd love to, but is he going to be able to? We'll find out in about 1 minute and 50 seconds time. It is go time for the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. Undercheck has gone and the checkered flag is out in a lap's time. Let's go for the last lap of the Belgian Grand Prix sprint, and Nasi does follow Undercheck quite well, and it's all going to come down to this one run down, and Undercheck has not kept a clean exit, and that has given Nasi ample opportunity to maybe snatch this away from Undercheck here on the very last lap, as the safety car does not work in Undercheck's favour. The slipstream is going to be working its magic for Nasi, 31 now, and he might just be able to do what Undercheck has done to him several times before now. Round the outside, he has to go. Is he going to be able to? Hangs it round the outside. Surely the move is done. They make contact, Undercheck and Nasi, wheel banging all throughout sector 1, but no, he's not able to make his way by. One last move, maybe down the inside into the next corner, sweeping right-hander, maybe force Undercheck a bit wide on the exit. Undercheck still keeping it in there. Nasi has to back out of it, and what a sterling defense from Undercheck, just not giving up anything at all. Nasi, he threw absolutely everything away at him. There's going to be one more go down the long run down to the bus stop chicane. Nasi's going to have to use absolutely everything. Djokovic is right on his chuff as well. Undercheck needs to keep it clean now, and he just might be able to hang on to this. One last run to go. We've not seen any moves into the bus stop this weekend. I don't think we're going to see it on this occasion. The gap is 0.6 of a second. Nasi has to use everything, but he can't run out of deployment either. Needs to play this smart. Needs to defend from Djokovic, because I do believe the win is just out of range now. For Nasi, 31, he is catching rather quickly, but it's not going to be enough. Undercheck does everything right on the last lap. Just plants his car in the absolute middle. Nasi did everything he could, but Undercheck takes the Belgian Grand Prix sprint from Nasi and Djokovic. No Larks in P4, followed by Spenklos in P5. Padarang in P6 at the end, followed by a double points finish for Red Bull, Darren Style and Wigan in P8. Whew, what an end to the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. What an end to the sprint race there. Nasi doing everything he could, and I absolutely believe they had that move done at one point. Undercheck just with enough of an advantage to keep Nasi behind him, and he is storming towards 5 in a row. Nasi not quite there on pace, not quite there at the end. 0.4 of a second was the gap. So getting confirmation from BT, did not make contact with Nasi earlier on. I don't know quite what happened. I'm sure we'll find out after the race in the post-race investigations. But Undercheck from Nasi, from Djokovic, No Larks, Spenklos, Padarang, Darren Style and Wigan points runners. Iwatts just coming up short in the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. Now then, we're going to be going to a little bit of a break. Once again, just let the drivers relax for a moment. I have a feeling that both Nasi, Djokovic and Ondrzejczyk are going to need it after that ending to the sprint. And we'll be right back with you once again in a couple of minutes' time for the sprint here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back with you for full coverage of the 22 laps here around Spa. As then, whilst we're building up to the Belgian Grand Prix, just hello to all of you currently watching. Thank you very much for the dedication. Thanks you, James Taylor, as well, for renewing your subscription. You are an absolute legend. Whilst we're just building up to the race that is come, I was thinking we'd have a look at the Drivers and Constructors Championship. They are coming up on screen about now. And as we can see, it's close at the front. Nasi on 170 points versus Djokovic on 163. That will have now increased by a point up to 177 and 169. If I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I am. Matti, no points in that sprint race means Ondrzejczyk has taken P3 in the championship as well. Late charge from the World Drivers' Championship from JV8, says him. I'm afraid mathematically you may well be out of contention, my friend. But absolutely go for it. If you do manage to snatch the title, I will give you everything I own. Please don't win the championship now that I've said that. It would be somewhat embarrassing. Squidge 2017 having a good season as well, up in P5, followed by BT in P6. Spenclose in P7, No Larks in P8. A couple of more points from him today. Danny P9 and Jamar in P10. And as for the Constructors' Championship, they look something like this, coming up on your screen right about now, hopefully. And McLaren is well and truly in command of the championship there, 277 versus Ferrari's 217. Williams having a good season in P3, 182, followed by AlphaTauri in 162. Then it's a close midfield fight between Alpine, Mercedes, Red Bull and Aston Martin. Then Haas and Alfa Romeo, the two outliers on 3 and 2 points respectively. Alfa Romeo not racing today, JV8 racing for Haas, and getting close to the points in the sprint. See if he can get a couple of points here in the Grand Prix. As there we go, the ready up has been given. 22 laps worth of Belgian Grand Prix racing action. See what kind of race we have, if we have more of a strategic one, because the one we just saw was incredibly intense. So we'll wait and see what the Grand Prix has to offer, if it just brings a bit more strategy into the fold. Feel free to bet on the fact that we may well have a safety car. See, very decent chance we will. Here we go then, little beeps in the background is signaling the race is about to get underway. As here we go, then Ondrzejczyk is going to take the start in the formation lap on the medium tires, followed by Nasi on the mediums and Djokovic on the mediums, followed by No Larks going aggressive on the softs at the start. Not maybe what I'd expect from No Larks in this situation. Maybe just trying to fend off Spenclose here at the very beginning of the race. Starting on the mediums and Padrang as well. Seemingly everyone starting on the medium. Some Obama doesn't matter because he is under AI mode. Hybrid starting on the softs. Everyone else on the mediums as well. Some Obama's going to be disqualified after the session, so count his results out. Even if he does score any points, they won't count. But then, Ondřejek, Nasi and Djokovic, the top three, remains unchanged from the qualifying order. Ondřejek very close to losing the win of the sprint on the last lap of the sprint there. It was an interesting ending to the race, mind you. Christina the Gamers in the chat saying good luck, Matty, once more. Then, awesome to see you back in the stream, Christina. Hope you're having a good one. I just can't get over how incredibly exciting that last lap in the sprint was. Definitely a highlight of the season for me. Definitely a highlight of the season. No larks in P4, and really curious strategy going so ultra aggressive on a set of softs here on the first opening stint. Maybe expecting an early safety car, being able to put on a set of mediums or hards and go to the end of the race on those. It's a curious decision, not one I was expecting, but we'll wait and see what goes on. We'll wait and see what goes on. Can't make any predictions yet. It's a long way to go. Longest race in terms of distance, if I'm not mistaken, on the NEF1 calendar. 22 laps around Spa. It's about a 7-kilometer lap here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even an 8-kilometer lap. So, it's gonna take a while. There we go, Ondřejek lining up on his pole position slot. Nasi alongside him. Djokovic in P3. Couple of people disqualified from the formation lap, messing up their parking. Matty and Danny lining up the rear. We are about to get going for the Belgian Grand Prix. As what on earth has happened? I have no HUD whatsoever. What? Come on. Oh, great game. Oh, well, here we go. Nasi is just coming up to the back of Ondřejek on the... I'm going to have to restart my game. This Nasivo, maybe, down the run into turn one. Oh, sorry, up the run, down the camel straight. Is he going to be able to get that move down? Awful camera angles here all throughout. Now, trying to move around the outside that he tried on the last lap of the sprint. Is it going to work this time? Ondřejek not really going to put up too much of a fight this early on in the Grand Prix. Gets that move done. Ondřejek, P2 then, followed by, that is No Larks, who's taking P3 away from Djokovic. I believe that is Spenclose in P5, followed by Padarang in P6. Maybe trying to go for a move around the outside, not really paying off. That is, I'm not even going to pretend to know who these two are. Both Red Bulls in P7 and P8 still. I am going to have to do a restart of my game. I'm really sorry, but I have no HUD whatsoever. The problem is when I leave, someone else is going to become lobby host. But I have no clue what is going on. I've lost all HUD. Can I just pause and gain it back? How has this happened? Oh, then here we go. Just going to finish up last one, and then we'll get right back to it. I do apologize for this inconvenience, as Ondřejek maybe pulls one down to the inside of the bus stop chicane, thinks better of it, but almost gets very close to Nasi on the exit as well, and might be able to go for a move down the inside, and stationary Mercedes still in the grid, thankfully ghosted. There's a very, very decent chance of Ondřejek being able to reclaim the lead on lap 2 as well. Getting run down to the line, and No Larks is right there as well. On a set of soft tires could prove lethal. Nasi's not going to be able to do anything to defend this one, maybe. No Larks is coming through. On a set of soft tires, might No Larks be about to take the lead of an NEF1 race for the first time in his career? I don't know. Not quite, but Ondřejek tries one round the outside, turns into the inside. Nasi defends. Here we go then, quit to the main menu, quickly. Get this done. And this is some glitch, this. This is some glitch where I can't even get out the lobby, and now I've lost complete control of everything. I can't even pause anymore. I'm going to have to do a full game restart. Hang with me, I will be right back. I'll put you in loading screen just for a moment. As here we go, and I'm just praying for this to work. There we go, finally got the HUD back. Undertech has taken the lead of the Grand Prix away from NEF1. Djokovic now in P4. Something has gone terribly wrong for Nolarks, who is down in P15. Still on a set of soft tires, but something has gone horribly wrong for the AlphaTauri driver. Now finding his way all the way back in almost last position. That is heartbreaking for the Maltese driver who's battling for the lead when we were just with them in at lap 2. What went on there? What went on there? I'm very sorry I missed it. I'm sure for Nolarks it's somewhat of a comfort that I did miss it. Wigan71 is having a good race up to P7, so is his teammate Darren Stahl up to P5 at the moment. Both on a set of medium tires as well, running the optimal strategy here, so is a BT. Nasty sticking with Undercheck. DRS is going to be enabled on this lap. Is this going to turn into one of those battles where they just keep trading places every single lap? Samo's finally gone off the grid. Really weird situation. This really weird race situation. This. I do apologize about the inconvenience at the start. If you can see the stream as you should, then please let me know as well. Here we go then, up the hill, Rouge and Radion. NEF1 has already started gaining on Undercheck, and is he going to be able to get that move done? DRS is enabled. How hard is Undercheck going to defend this one? Nasi, maybe down the inside, no, thinks better of it. And the fact that Nasi is already hanging back, opting to not pull a move. On lap 4 out of 22, there's something concerning about it. Is that the type of race we're going to have? We'll have to wait and see, but it's an interesting one. Danny's actually had a really good start, up to P9 already after just 4 laps starting last. Matty's had an okay start in P12. Danny already up into the points and now behind former teammate and friend Iwas as well, up to P8. Let's see how quickly he can dispatch of that Alpine and go after Wigan in a BT. Yellow flags, that's a Mercedes sudden issue. I would imagine that is some Obama. Yes, it is. Danny up 8 positions on these first couple of laps then. Here we go then, down turn 1. Danny maybe even could send one down the inside, likes not to. And now it's going to be one mighty DRS train going up the hill. Nassi van a little bit further back to undercheck than he was before. And this is now crucial for Nassi. He cannot allow undercheck to get out of DRS. Safety car has been brought out for some reason though, and I have no clue why. Full cost safety car has been brought out. Curious that. Undercheck then in the lead of the Grand Prix at the fast safety car, followed by Nassi, Djokovic and Spenklos in P4. BT in P5, followed by Darren Style and Wigan Red Bull on an emergence here. Danny in P9 having dispatched of iWatts, who's now P10 behind his teammate, that's followed by Jamar Jr.'s P9. Squidge just on the fringes of the points in P11. And if anyone could just confirm for me that the stream is working as it should, that'd be much obliged. Anyone who's watching, just give me a thumbs up in chat would be sufficient. Sorry, I'm falling a bit silent, currently just sorting some stuff behind the scenes. Couple of messages that I'm being sent. As Matt is saying, positions are not reflecting the stream for him. That's a bit weird. Matt has been given a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. What is going on? Squidge 2017 has now joined the session. I DNF'd from what is going on. See, BT's been given a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Darren Style. Again, reports the collisions or the positions looks decent for Tollyman. Okay, there seems to might be some sort of issue. So Matty, you're reporting in stream that is weird for both you and Nolax. Could you tell me what positions you're in on your race? You're in P6 and P11 respectively on my stream. So Wigan reports from Hybrid that he's stuck in the pit lane. Oh goodness. What is going on? Okay, so now Hybrid's DNF'd from this race. What on earth is going on? And where's Nassi disappeared to? He's coming to the pit lane, I believe, in P5. Okay, so I'm sorry I am just disappearing a little bit. We're having some discussions behind the scenes. Okay, so the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. For now, we will be treating the restart as it would be a regular restart. No plans for a lobby restart as of right now. So everyone just sit tight, keep racing, and we'll let you know if anything changes. The weird thing is we're getting incredibly conflicting reports from all over the place, basically, of what's going on. Undercheck at the moment will be restarting this race then on lap 7 out of 22. Wigan reportedly in P2, followed by Danny in P3. Here we go then for the Belgian Grand Prix, lap 8 out of 22. So we have a McLaren jumping straight into the pit lane. That is a BT. Patarang has made up a place on JV8. Danny being pressured now by Jamer on the restart. Wasn't quite able to hang with Wigan. Wigan wasn't able to hang with Undercheck. And now Nassi round the back of Jamer. Maybe able to get Danny on this restart as well. On a set of soft tires, not designed to go for it on this occasion. Soft tires, though, shouldn't take him too long to dispatch of Danny. Maybe a move down the inside. Is he going to be able to go for it? Yes, he is. Pulls a brilliant one off. Nassi takes P3 away, and now he is a pit stop ahead of Underjack and on better tires. Wigan not able to do anything to defend from that Underjack. Now it has a problem. It's coming up quick, and it's on a set of brand new soft tires. Nassi has now taken control of this race. Absolutely brilliant strategy call from NEF1. Question is now, how quickly is Nassi going to be able to make up ground on Undercheck? And on a better softer tire, mind you. This happening rather quickly. Situation is now, though, Nassi's tires aren't going to last too long, but if he gets ahead of Undercheck and maybe just able to create a bit of a breathing room, they're going to have to pit once more. Nassi can go on whichever tire he wants to. Undercheck cannot go on a set of mediums. Probably having to go maybe to a set of hard tires if he elects to pit quite soon, depending on how worn his tires are. Nassi holds all the cards at the moment. And he is rapidly catching the back of Undercheck, and there might not be too much sense trying to fight this one. Djokovic, on a set of hard tires, might be trying to go to the end, and that could also prove a problem for Undercheck. The thing is, though, Djokovic, 3-second time penalty, multiple track limit violations. Here we go then, NEF1 right on the back of Undercheck, 2.5 tenths of a second is the gap. 2.5 tenths of a second. What the fuck is going on with the AR Samo Bamo? As race control has now enabled DRS, and that is going to be like music in the ears of NEF1. Is going to be what's an elegant way of saying it? It's going to be like Justin Bieber in the ears of Undercheck. Absolutely disgracefully painful, because here goes Nassi, and there's nothing Undercheck's going to be able to do to defend this one. Nassi, on a set of soft tires, takes the lead of the race on lap 10. And now, crucially for Nassi, he's on a better tyre. He needs to take advantage of it. He needs to take undercheck on this lap. Question is, how much better is that soft? It's done quite a bit of racing. Safety car enabled. And for what is the question? There is a Aston Martin stuck on the inside. Oh, and that has rather counted Nassi's strategy a lot. That has counted everything good about Nassi's strategy. Now he's left a little bit stranded. Jay, from what I can see in the stream and everything looks fine according to me. I can't really see anything going on, and everyone is not ghosted, which means they're in this lobby except for Sam Obama, but he wasn't ever. So I can't see anything wrong for the time being, which means I can't really do anything about it. Nassi comes into the pit lane, so does Onreject. The question is, for what tyres? Nassi has the luxury of being able to go for a medium tyre. Onreject might have to go for a hard or a soft. Soft tyres for Onreject. Nassi, what is going on the back? Oh no, he gets held in the pit lane and it's hard tyres going on for Nassi. And that is a disaster for the McLaren driver. Hard tyres going on with 11 laps to go. Onreject behind him, but on a set of soft tyres. Oh, and this is now turned interesting. Nassi on the hards, Onreject on the softs. Djokovic now, actually maybe having played a masterstroke in the lead of this Grand Prix on that set of hards that he switched on to earlier. Iwat in P2 on a set of hards that he switched on earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone, apart from Matty, having made a pit stop, he's going on to the set of hard tyres. Not a lot of people, no one, apart from Onreject actually, electing to go for the softs. Matty, we're going to report, is stuck in the pit lane. So the reason why I'm going silent yet again is we're trying to sort this with the admin team. So Matty, I'm afraid, is still stuck in the pit lane. Here's hoping he can get out of that pit lane. Preferably before he gets slapped by the entire field. And there he gets released. Please tell me he makes it up before the safety car. Please tell me he makes it up before the safety car. Yes, he does. What on earth is going on? And then Samo gets released without issue. This is maybe the weirdest situation I've ever seen in an F1 game over the course that we've done any F1. That's since 2021, mind you. And 2021 was an absolute glitch fest. Uh, this is a new experience. So all admins, I've typed something up in the messenger chat that I'd like you all to look at real quick if you have the possibility. I know Matty, you're attentive for time. Okay, so the safety car is not coming in yet, giving Matty another lap to hopefully try to catch up. Okay, so the safety car is coming in this lap. We're about to go green again. Matty is going to catch up to the rest of the field, which is a good thing on a new set of hards, so he'll be able to race his way up. We are going to the checkered flag, guys, but we will be looking at what's been going on this race after the race, and yeah, just investigating the whole situation, the whole lobby. Everyone, for now, we're going to the flag. Djokovic then is going to be restarting this Grand Prix from P1. Iwatts behind him. Nassi in P3, followed by Ondercheck in P4. And on a set of soft tires, this is where it gets interesting. Let's go to restart the Belgian Grand Prix on lap 14 out of 22. Oh, and that is a tire advantage for Undercheck. Just look at this braking performance coming into turn 1. Let's see, even Undercheck on Nasi. Nothing really through a route. Is not a high grip performance corner. Danny with freezing and dampened with multiple track limits violations. Watts, ooh, very close to making contact with Undercheck. Undercheck. Is he going to try to outbrake Nasi? No, he doesn't. Djokovic, Nasi, and Undercheck is the top 3. Watts is P4, followed by Darren Stalin on the one set of softs in P5. Might well have to pit again, I would imagine so. 7 lap old softs. Oh, it's not brilliant. JV8, 11 lap old hards. Not brilliant either. Should have probably come into pit. Here we go, Van Ondercheck is just pushing Nasi around the track at this point. 0.2 of a second. They're not going to be able to shake him as of yet. It's if that soft tire falls off an absolute cliff. 8 laps to go. Yellow flags in sector 2. That is Mercedes Osamo Bamo. It's under AI control and this much is going on with him. Nasi, is he going to pull one into the bus stops? No. Maybe actually tries to go around the outside. Just thinks better of it. And now Undercheck sneaks a little move down in there, but Nasi says not a chance. Djokovic is doing everything he can already to try to break the toe down into Rouge and Radion. Not really working. Undercheck though is getting a massive run on Nasi all the way up Rouge. And now, a little bit of slipstream, no DRS as of yet, but a bit of battery, and might be able to pull a move down into the next corner. Better braking performance, and Nasi can do nothing about that one. Undercheck's up to P2 for the time being. Djokovic still in P1 with a time penalty, mind you. Undercheck going to be able to go one into the sweeping right-hander? No. Padarang, freezing time penalty, multiple track limit warnings. Nasi is still in P3. Watts not really in contention. 4 seconds behind, losing pace. Undercheck's pushing Djokovic around the circuit right now. And two that had such a close battle in Spain. Incredibly close to each other on track here once again, but you do have a feeling it's inevitable. Undercheck so much quicker on that soft tire. Question is, when is that move coming? Because Nasi is right there as well. Undercheck is leaving himself exposed right now, not going for that move. DRS has been enabled on this lap. Djokovic, you might be about to lose a couple of places, bud. Can't lie to you. Here we go then. Djokovic leads them up the hill. It's Undercheck and Nasi chasing. Undercheck is already almost side by side with Djokovic as we enter the DRS zone. Now with the ADAS on DRS, and Nasi flies down the inside with a lot of battery. Now is he going to be able to challenge Undercheck? No, but he does get ahead of Djokovic, who's in P3 now with a time penalty, mind you. Danny is up in P4. Matty's doing a mega recovery job at the moment, up at P9. 8 seconds now, though, up to Wigan in less than 6 laps time. Undercheck pulling away from Nasi. 1.4 seconds is the gap. Now Undercheck just has to go into tire management, try to stick this one, or try to keep this one in the bag. Have a Williams who's had a problem. That is Spenclose coming out of Puon, I believe. Lap 17 out of 22. Wondercheck in leader Grand Prix, 1.5 seconds of Nasi and Djokovic. See how long that soft tire lasts for. 6 laps old. Should be starting to get a little bit worn. Question is, are we gonna get to a point where Nasi's hard tires are working better than the softs of Ondrejek? Might be towards the last couple of laps, but Ondrejek at the moment not shaking Nasi, who's staying about 1.4 behind, actually gaining just that little bit. Are those soft tires so fragile they're already starting to go off? If so, Ondrejek's gonna have a problem. Or is he just baiting Nasi to push that extra bit harder? JV8, freezing time penalty, multiple track limit violations. Which just might actually cost him a chance of points this weekend. Meanwhile, Sternstahl's making good use of his soft tires, and he is very much about to get past the Alpine of Iwatts. Actually, I might have been lying, but this gives us a good indicator of how the softs are against the hards. At about the same age, looks like they're about equal on 11 laps old. Nasi is catching Ondrejek. Oh, was a little love tap from Darren Style, and I was. Darren misjudging where I was braking. Just giving him a little tap down the rear. So here we go, and Darren gonna try something down the inside on the Camel Straight. That move is done before they even get close to the corner. Nasi 1.1 behind Ondrejek. Also, to all drivers listening, I would appreciate you taking a screenshot of your finishing order after the race, or just when the checkered flag drops, and sending them to myself after the race, just to aid in the investigation of what is going on. And now that gap's going up substantially. Was 1.1, now 1.3, 1.4 almost. Question is that Nasi just having a bit of a bad corner, or has Ondrejek decided to put the foot down? 7 lap old tires, 4 laps to go. Matty rapidly catching the back of Iwatts and might still be on for 4 points in a P8 here. Iwatts, who's trying to stick to the back of Darren Style. And cautions in sector 3. Yellow flags are out. So here we go. I apologize to all the viewers. It's been a really weird race. We're obviously not happy about what's going on at the moment. And we will be reviewing it after the race. Don't worry about it. But every now and again, every once in a season, race like this unfortunately happens. It's part of the EAN Cody's especially magic. J Marvin now well and truly involved in the battle with Danny DC for P4 as things stand. Wigan is right there as well, and if he doesn't pick up any penalties, very well could be grabbing this P4 away from Danny and Jamar. Wigan right now can't afford a single penalty. As for Nasi, trying to catch up to the back of Ondrejek, but not really being able to do so. It looked promising for a while. The question is, did he take a lot out of his tyres on those runs? Right now, 1.4 seconds behind. That needs to get to within a second on this lap, probably. Unless Nasi has something in hand that Ondrejek doesn't know about. Jamar now getting past Danny DC for P4. Wigan doing everything he has to still to take both those positions away. And what is going on for the AF Samobamo? Jesus Christ. Iwat still on the back of Darren. So here we go then, 2 laps to go. Nasi chasing down Ondrejek, gaps 1.6 seconds now, and actually increasing. Ondrejek at the moment has this covered off. What's very close to the back of Darren Stahl, 1/10 of a second as we're heading into bus stop. Mind you, Darren has that time penalty, so it might not matter. Iwat's now giving Darren a little love tap like Darren did to him a couple of laps back. And down the run to Arouche and Radion. I was taking a bit of a different line, trying to avoid the dirty air of Darren. The red light on that Red Bull's coming on. Iwat is going to fly past up the Kemmel Straight, take P7 away, and Matty is right there as well. Might be trying to take Darren Stahl for an extra point or two. And Darren, what went on there? Just let Matty go, basically. Maybe not want to get caught up in anything. Or just having a snap of under overstay. I can't quite tell you. What I can tell you is that this is probably a done fight now. Ondrejek 1.4 seconds out of Nasi. Unless anything happens, this is going to be one for the taking and a record-breaking 5th win in a row. A record equaling 5th win in a row for Ondrejek. At the track where Matty, who is the current occupant of that record, won his NEF1 title back in Season 2 here in Spa. Ondrejek has the chance to take that record away from him. Here we go then, last lap of the Grand Prix, 1.1 seconds the gap from Nasi to Ondrejek is getting closer, but it's not quite close enough. Nasi doing everything he can to get it within a second, but he just fails to. In another lap, it might even have worked, but Ondrejek, for the time being, has this covered. One second is now the gap. Still opportunity for Ondrejek to make a mistake, but we've not seen that type of behavior from him ever since he joined back into NEF1. Matty has taken P7 away from Iwat, I think, down the Kemmel Straight. Gonna be hard for Iwat to do anything about it. Gap is now within 1 second on the check and Nasi, but it might not matter. Here we go then, down the run into the bus stop chicane, and I can now basically confirm that the gap is too big. 8 tenths of a second still, 9 tenths, and Ondratech is going to be able to bring home a record equaling 5th win in a row here in NEF1, and he is on an absolute charge. Nasi's doing everything he can to defend, and he is solidifying his championship challenge, 1 second behind Ondratech, who still takes the win of the Belgian Grand Prix. Nasi finishes P2, followed by Djokovic, who's going to be coming home in P3. Damage limitation from Djokovic, not his weekend, not quite on the pace. Wigan takes P4 after a long, hard-fought battle. Danny in P5, good result for the other Ferrari driver, and the two, I believe, close up a little bit on McLaren in the standings. Jamar in P6, followed by Matty in P7. Brilliant recovery from him after the incident on the safety car. Iwatts in P8, some decent points for Alpine, with Patarang in P9 and No Larks in P10. Fastest lap point as well goes to a BT, currently sitting in P13, just coming across the line there. Darren Stahl not going to be able to bring home any points to Red Bull today, unfortunately. His teammate, though, has done the job. P4 for Wigan 71. Everyone, please take a screenshot or a picture of the race results as well and send them to me in the Discord. Oh, and that is one of the weirdest races we've had in NEF1 for a long time. But Ondratech emerges victorious at the end of it for the 5th time in a row. He has been on an absolute run as the Mercedes driver, and he is well and truly in the hunt for this championship as well. But the question is it just that bit too late? Because there's still a lot of ground to make up, and with the pace Nasi's going out as well, there might just not be enough races for Ondratech to be able to catch up. We'll wait and see. But then there's your result for the weekend. Ondratech taking top honours just above Nasi and Djokovic. Nasi does extend the lead in championship a little bit. A lot of different people with points this weekend, but if we're looking for the race results, there they are. Really weird situation with the best lap times. A beat with 1:13.9. I have no clue how you'd set that even, seeing how I believe it's quicker than the pole time. So that's a bit dodgy. Ondratech then is the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix from Nasi. Djokovic, Wigan with season best result, and Danny in P5. Good result for Ferrari. We will be discussing this race at length in the post-race admin meeting, I'm sure. It's going to go on Wednesday or Thursday, so stay tuned for any updates in the Discord if you're an active driver in the league for that. But other than that, we will be back. We'll be back next week out, and hopefully we will keep the season underway as planned. We'll be going to Japan for, once again, a regular qualifying event on the 22nd of April. Japanese Grand Prix around Suzuka. So, stay tuned for that, because we're not going anywhere. We'll be right back in a week's time when NEF1 returns.